My name is Sailor Henny, and I am focusing on gender verification in the Olympics. What's interesting about this topic is we are surrounded by media coverage of sports. I guarantee as a viewer, you're either involved in a sport, you see sports on TV every day, or you hear about it. What most people don't understand is that gender in sports is very segregated. You're either playing in a women's category or a men's category, and a lot of people don't understand the social problem that gender segregation causes, especially in something so common as sports. What I'm focusing on is gender verification in the Olympics and how this actually singles out women in particular and gives them a disadvantage. I am interested in researching the existing social need that people have in our society to perceive athletes within lines of the strict gender binary, male or female. The history of gender verification in sports began more widely in international sports as early as the 1930s. However, the most significant history of widespread knowledge and coverage about this issue spurred when a few female athletes did markedly well in the 1968 Winter Olympics. Olympic officials and society suspected that they might actually be males disguised as women so that they would win more easily. It then became mandatory to gender test only female Olympic athletes, and if they didn't pass, then they would have to go through a public, invasive 2-year process of gender assignment sex hormone therapy until they could finally be deemed explicitly male or female. In 1996, mandatory sex testing was discontinued. However, suspicion-based sex testing is still permitted if people don't feel that you are girl enough or boy enough for either competition category. Two main sociological concepts apply to this issue and make it very relevant. Gender segregation is the primary one. This is defined as a pattern whereby women and men are situated in different, separate but equal social spheres. History has taught us, however, that this living dynamic is impossible to achieve, and there are still inequalities that exist, particularly at the expense of women. Female athletes are still being viewed as separate biological beings that are less physically able or to accomplish sports feats than men. The sad thing is that most people in our society actually believe that this type of segregation doesn't exist, and often overlook this as being a negative force that really affects many female athletes. Segregation is harmful in all of its social contexts, especially in gender verification in sports. The second major sociological concept that I noticed relates to this issue is deviance. I would even create the term gender deviance as a more specific term for this gender verification in sports issue. Deviance is defined as behavior that does not conform to social expectations. Because star athletes are under the public eye, society acts as the police of gender binary for these people and use perceptions of physical characteristics and attributes to segregate male and female. When an athlete violates these norms or don't look stereotypically male or female, then they are punished with mass public scrutiny until they conform to physical and behavioral gender norms. In the future, I would like to see a set of co-ed Olympic Games, or because these social factors are so embedded in the physical nurturing of female athletes, have performance-based segregation in place of male-female segregated games that unjustly rests on misconceptions of gender.